Should. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our first ever edition of the Have Nots podcast. This is sort of like a podcast slash after show for Big Brother. We just had tonight's eviction episode. But first, we're going to introduce ourselves. I am Bobby F. J. Town. I host what's the name of our podcast?
Boss Battle?
Boss Battle podcast on circuitronmedia.com. It's late, a little late. It's about 10 o'clock here. And I've had a long day, and as you can tell.
Yeah.
And joining me, Wheels, why don't you introduce yourself?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am at Hot Wheels RWA on the Twitters, and I am one of the many co-hosts of the Wrestling Mayhem Show and the Indie Mayhem Show on Sorgatron Media. And also, I'm a man of many talents. I am also the sound guy at RWA Pro on the Twitters of a wrestling company that is getting some business lately. But that's not about wrestling tonight, Bobby. You know what it's about. You know what it's about.
Brother.
It's about Big Brother. Come on.
And everybody yelling at us for having conversations, sidebar conversations about Big Brother. So they said, why don't you guys start a podcast? So this is what we're doing. We're starting a podcast, and this is our first one. So let us know if you like it or not. But I want to start by asking you how you got into Big Brother.
Oh, wow. How did I get into Big Brother? Well, it started, of course, with Big Brother 1.
Mm-hmm.
Should I say 15 years ago? Because technically, yes, it is Big Brother 16 that we're watching, but they had one season that had 2 seasons because of a writer's strike. So, of course, Big Brother 1, I went, what? I can watch people in a house?
That was the couples in the winter one, right?
That was that was a All-Stars, I think. That was the first of the All-Stars, I think.
No, I'm thinking it was the winter one with the couples where they had.
Oh, yes, you're correct. Yeah. And it was a good idea. I mean, I'm impressed that, luckily, as we go on with this podcast, you're going to find out, with them having 2 Big Brothers in that year, unlike this house, and from Big Brother 6 to this now, that was a totally different house. So they didn't have to deconstruct and redo everything. All they had to do was move furniture and everything because it was an actual house that they're in. Unlike Big Brother 6 to 16, which is CBS lot.
Yeah.
And if you don't know that already, folks, you've been living under a rock. That is not a real house.
It's not.
It's a metaphorical house, folks. So, I started Big Brother 1, and just like the house guest, I could call myself a super fan. I mean, I missed a few years, but I got back into it in 2000. Well, let's go with Big Brother 12 on, and so that's how I got it. How about you, Bobby? What got you into Big Brother?
Since the beginning, I've watched every single season. From season 1 to season 16, I haven't missed a season. I've been obsessed with it. I even got my dad into it. My dad watches it with me now. So.
Oh, see, that's great. I mean, if you watch a lot of the house guests, that's what they talk about. It's like sometimes it's just them that love it and their families are, what is this weirdness? And just kind of funny that we mention it that way, but just like the Frankie said, his grandfather didn't know anything about it, but he watched it because of Frankie, and we'll get into more of that.
Didn't understand it, but he watched it to watch his grandson, which is great, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get more into that one in a little bit because there's a spot in the show that we have to talk of. Mm-hmm. But all right, we're going to go into our favorite house guests of all time. Bobby, I want to get your thoughts. Who is your favorite house guest of all time?
My favorite is somebody who won 2 years ago, Dan Giesling.
Oh,
my
nice.
all-time favorite. He played the best game. He was a nice guy about it. I mean, he wasn't a dick about it. He did his job. He had to do it, and he did it. You know, and he played the game well.
I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
He his brain.
And
I mean,
the first time he played, if you remember, he was America's player.
yes, yes.
He kind of got screwed out of that because. Oh, hold on a minute. He kind of got screwed out of that because he
Yeah,
just
he did.
I don't know, and with the controversy with Evil Dick, which is
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of people loved Evil Dick, but I mean, I agree with you with the whole Dan thing. But my all-time favorite house guest, I gotta say, are you ready for this? Was Mike Boogie.
yeah, Mike
That man was very sneaky, and
and Doctor Who were cool together.
I'm sorry, I loved his DRs. The
Mm,
DRs were classic. I enjoyed the whole phone calls between him and Dr. Will. It kept me entertained, and then when him and Frank and Ian were together, it was entertainment. It was just like, can we just have him all the time? I mean, as much as people sat there and didn't want like an all-star season again this year or something, they just wanted all new. I'd be happy with one more Mike Boogie appearance again.
yeah.
And I mean, okay, some
I
people like Rachel, don't like Rachel.
don't like Rachel either.
So yeah, so but
Another,
Mike Boogie, I can live with a ton of that.
yeah, another one of my favorites, going back to way back to season one, was Chicken George.
Oh my
George
God.
George was awesome.
I watched the All-Star seasons
Yeah,
before.
I'm glad they brought him back for the All Star season because he
Yeah.
anybody in season one when America voted that
Yeah.
was kind of not. I don't know. It was a different game back then.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly seeing like you said, from one to All Stars, and you were sitting there going, "What a change!" And it was a better game now that the house guests get to do it. No offense to us fans, I mean,
Yeah,
but
you
some
had
of us might have live feeds, some of us might watch after dark, so we're seeing a little bit more than those other house guests are, and we're fickle, so we're taking it in a weird way, like they even say personally. It's like, oh, I don't really like the way this person acts, so I'm loving that the house guests get to vote.
yeah, and plus you had with the MVP. They tried to do a couple years ago. The same person would win it week after week after week. It was
Yes,
Rachel's
yes.
sister.
Which I mean,
You know.
wow. I think that's what one of the things that was people were worried about for this season
Yeah.
was okay, if we get all house guests, who's going to be related to this and that? And then we saw the list, we're casting lists, and we're like, oh wow, all new people. And then you read, okay, Frankie Grande. I'm like, okay, what's so special about this dude? And you hear about his sister. I'm like, who? Because I'm sorry to say, folks, I don't watch Nickelodeon much or anything like that. Not as much as I used to. So I didn't know who this girl was until I listened to a song after he got in the house. I'm like, she's no Rachel, so he'll be fine.
Yeah. But another favorite of mine, you got to mention Jeff and Jordan, of course.
Oh yes.
But
Oh.
but Nicole is rivaling Jordan's adorableness for me right
Oh my goodness, yes. As soon as I saw Nicole, I went, "Oh my God, it's Aaron with glasses, but Jordan's personality."
now.
I
Exactly.
went, "Oh, the feels. I love you, Nicole. I want to come in the house and just beat up Hayden to take you away."
Exactly. But I actually like Hayden and her together. I think they're a cute.
Oh yes. Oh my God. They showed the kiss tonight. It was
Oh
like
yeah.
I, and it's kind of funny I said I saw it on the live feeds live.
I was just gonna say that's one advantage. That's one advantage
Yeah.
you have over me. I don't have the live feeds. You have the live feeds. So tell everybody like some of the things like if they don't have the live feeds, what went on this week without any spoilers. Even though we know
Right.
who got voted
I was
out.
gonna say I don't think we're gonna have any spoilers right now because
Yeah,
everything's basically out for tonight.
yeah. This is
Oh,
good. We're
the
doing this on
kissing.
Thursday then.
Yeah, we are. Yes, if you are watching us now, this is after the July 24th eviction episode of Big Brother. So if you don't know what happened by now, get from under that rock. Get on your TVs and watch Big Brother. But to my live feeds and a lot of, I did not realize how many live feeders are out there. There's a chat room on CBS.com for the live feeders. So you're sitting there watching this stuff live. You're getting their feelings. My God, I thought just me and you, Bobby, were nuts. Okay, you should go into a chat. It's crazy, and these people take it seriously like you and I do.
Hmm.
But the live feeds, you're watching four camera views,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe if the fans, I don't know, maybe with you have four camera views, but two are on the same room but different angles on each camera. So it's like you may have four camera views, but it's in the same room on two of them. So it's like you have a $50 million of cameras all over the place, and you stick it on the bathroom with two different views and one of the bedrooms with two different views. And I'm like, separate that. I don't want to sit there and look at the same people in this area, but it's nice. It's wonderful. But this week, we got to see the first kiss of Hayden and Nicole, and
Oh,
the feels that were wonderful in that. It was just like it was adorably cute, and I'm worried for Hayden because we all watched tonight on a Big Brother that Dad's watching.
yeah, exactly.
Nicole's daddy is watching, and
I think they were more concerned about her bringing them the money than a boyfriend, which was great.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, well, hey, okay, that's cool. Family wants the money, but come on, let the daughter have some. He's a nice guy. I love mom. What's a pedicab?
yeah,
So we know where Nicole gets her Sheila.
yeah.
I think they need to get out a little bit more to know what a pedicab is, because I know what one is before.
Well, they're a small town family, so just like Donnie. Donnie's from a small town, so you know,
Oh my God, let's talk about Donnie.
Donnie's
My
the best.
God, I love that man.
He's the
I
best.
mean,
He's almost like George.
yes, I mean, my Donnie is not old, but he looks like an old spirit
Yeah,
because Donnie is about my age. I'm 42, and he's like I think 43.
yeah.
So,
His girlfriend,
and
ridiculously gorgeous too.
yeah, Donnie, I'm jealous of you, man. You got a hot woman waiting for you to come home, and we
Not
don't
yet.
want you. Yeah, we don't
I
want
was,
you to go home
I
yet.
was about ready to like. If he would have got voted out tonight, I would have been very mad. But
I was making a trip to California and streaking through the Big Brother house and just kicking everybody in the butt and go, thanks a lot. There was my entertainment.
all
But
right.
all right, so Bobby, I love my live feeds,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean because it tells me my best players I like to root for and my worst players. So we're gonna go for first off worst player of the week. Your choice, sir.
Worst player of the week, I think this week was probably Caleb. I think he lucked out by not by his decision to go for the money instead of the veto was stupid. Even though it kind of backfired against him because everybody wanted what's his name to use the you know didn't want him up on the block. He could have easily put him up on the block, but he didn't. So
Exactly.
toss up between him and
And Cody
Cody.
for
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
All right. Strange enough, I agree with you on the worst player because I sat there and I went, Caleb, really? Please, Caleb, quit being such a egotistical. I'm sorry. I watch live feeds. I see how you are. They're even showing you on it.
Mm-hmm.
Show how egotistical you are. Oh, if I do this, Amber will love me. Blah blah blah. Ooh,
He's
I
like
want the
obsessed with
money.
Amber too, and it's like, dude, she's not into you at all.
My God, Bobby, I gotta say this with my worst player. I'm also enjoying. They're bringing in a word that you and I and a lot of the Mayhem Show crew use a lot. The word dingus a lot. They're using the word dingus. I went. I
Dr.
love
Brooke,
this cast.
you dingus. I like
Yes,
how
my
I like how Donnie says about like words he's learned in here. Like that's sick. I learned that in here.
yes, and I'm like, this cast. I mean, some people are saying it's boring. I'm like, are you crazy? They're saying words that me and the crew say a lot. Dingus. So they must watch the shit we do.
Yeah. Um. So what I want to know is who is your best player of the week? But instead of the week, since we're just starting this now, Who has played the best game so far in the house? Since we're a couple weeks behind, we didn't start right
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Right,
Who do
right.
you think's playing the best game so far?
Oh, best game so far. Strange enough, I'd have to say Frankie.
Really?
Why? Because honestly, he's kind of sneakily playing the whole house,
Playing a good social
and
game. I'll give
nobody's
him that.
really
Yeah.
noticing. They're not noticing it, and
Yeah.
I feel that he's kind of like Andy of last year, but a little bit smarter.
Hmm.
He's playing it smart because he's not going from room to room to room.
He's not a
He's
rat.
going to yeah. He's that better rat. He's that white rat with the white eye, the pink eyes and stuff.
No,
He's the
probably
better.
not rat. He has white with pink hair. So,
Yes. So yeah, I got to give it to Frankie because I in the beginning I was like, oh my god, he's going to be seriously outrageously crazy. Watching live feeds, he's come up with characters and they're entertaining, and he has the house guests eating out of his hands.
mm.
I mean, this week they didn't show it on the show, but I can tell you this: he sat there and made up a character named Frank.
Oh, I did
And
see that. It was on After Dark.
yes, the straight guy who kissed Victoria. Oh my goodness! And
Wait,
Victoria.
who's Victoria?
Oh yeah, yeah. Who's Victoria? Yeah, I don't know who she is.
Show up this week though. She's been pretty good, but the first couple
Yeah,
weeks have been just I don't even think they showed anything about her in like since like the beginning of the season started since like this week
yeah,
when she actually won a competition. So
yeah. I don't even. Yeah, they didn't even really show her much tonight
other than
because.
her not knowing how to swing,
Oh yeah, I'm like, really? This poor girl, and that's the sad part. It's like if they don't see it and everything, that's the kind of person that could sneak in right to the end.
mm.
And they
Yeah,
gotta watch that. They gotta watch that. And another person I say for that is Christine.
yeah. So well, Christine's playing a pretty good game too though, but,
Yeah, she's
but
actually playing, but
Victoria's
watch
more.
out for yeah,
Yeah.
watch out for Victoria.
But my pick for my player of the series so far has to be Derek. I think Derek's playing an awesome game. I think what he did after Devin blew up the bomb squad, and
Yeah,
then Caleb come in as the de facto leader, and he kind of blew it up too. I think him wrangling those five together to form the detonators. I think
yes,
that he's playing a good game. He used his head of household to get Devin out, which was awesome. It worked, and just
yes.
I think he's playing a great game so far. Even though he did give Frankie the head of household this week, I think that's an okay move because I don't think Frankie's going to get rid of him. I think he's good with Frankie. I think he's good with Zach. I think he's good with Cody. I don't think any of those guys will go after him at all. And I think he has a big hand of what goes down in the house. He's an undercover police officer, so he knows how to play people. And
That's what I was just
that's
gonna
my
say.
early favorite for. I think he's going to go either go far if he doesn't win at all. So
Yeah,
that's my
I agree with you there, Bobby, because I was just gonna say Derek has it smart being a cop,
yep.
and none of them still know that he's a cop, and he's using his undercoverness that,
He
like
didn't
you said,
he
in
did
his
not tell
interview,
anybody that, and that's
he's not
smart.
letting anybody know. And I'm like, that's genius.
Mm-hmm.
And he was smart enough that like you said, he got Devin out,
Yep.
and he was instrumental in getting Brittany out
Yep.
because he
Which
talked Cody into getting rid of putting Donnie up there as much as Cody didn't want to do it.
they talked him into it. Yeah.
It was smart because honestly, I agree. If you would have put Caleb up there, a lot of people are iffy on Caleb now, and it's like that could have been a more split decision.
I just think Cody had the chance to get him out, and he just didn't pull the trigger. But yeah, like Derek and Zach, the two that we picked, were the ones that convinced him not to vote him out, basically. So,
Exactly.
all right,
So
we're gonna talk a little bit about tonight's episode, which was full of feels. If you watched it, you know what we're talking about. From Zach's grandpa or Frankie's grandpa passing away to
yeah,
to Brittany seeing her kids afterwards, or like after she got voted out of the house. Like it was like a roller coaster of emotions. And then with Nicole and Hayden getting together, it's like it was a good episode tonight, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. It was really, I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, oh, this is wonderful. And a lot of people in the chat in the live feed were reading before even Frankie found out about his grandfather. Like, are they going to tell him, or are they going to not want to let him know? Or and
his sister wasn't going to tell him.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people were saying. They didn't.
I'm glad they told him.
Yeah,
So
they did. Yeah, they didn't want him to leave the house and miss out on his opportunity of Big Brother.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I kind of think that was better that they called him into the DR and they let him see it in a letter instead of like when they do the interviews of telling them with their voice. That because honestly, letting him share that letter with the household honestly brought everybody a lot closer in realizing, hey, this is a game.
It's just a game.
But, yeah, it's a game, and we're here to play, but this is also real. And
nothing personal, it's all fun.
Yeah, so, I, strange enough, did not get to see
that's
it on live feeds when he came out of the DR. I'm wondering if it was one of those many times they did the stupid fish tank, which CBS drives me up the wall with this fish tank stuff. I mean, yes, I can understand they want to yell at them for singing, which I think you and I would have that problem too of trying not to sing in a house.
One of my favorite things about Big Brother, watching like After Dark and stuff, is the disembodied Big Brother voice yelling at them for doing various things. I just love that. It's like,
yeah, it's like, Derek, please stop singing. Caleb, stop that.
The microphone is not attached. Please.
Oh my God, Brittany! My God, Brittany was getting yelled at left and right. She was getting yelled at left and right for getting her microphone here, there, and everywhere. I don't think the disembodied voice is going to know what to do, not yelling at Brittany. But yes, the feels. Bobby, tell me your feels tonight, bro.
Yeah, it was a very emotional episode, good and bad. Just I was sitting there just going.
Yeah.
But do you have any predictions for next week? We're gonna wrap it up here soon.
Yes.
What do you
let's
in
see.
the house?
Well, let's see. We got the two heads of household, Zach and Frankie.
Yep.
Which
Zanky is the head of household.
Yes, we finally have Zanky, which those two will get to sleep in the HOH bedroom together again.
Yeah.
And that is such an odd couple relationship if you have seen
After the first episode, he was like basically making fun of him. Remember that? And they became like best friends after that. I was like, wow. And I actually started out hating Zach.
Yeah.
From his live feed videos, but he's actually one of my favorite house guests right now.
He's entertaining.
He reminds me.
Frank are so entertaining.
He reminds me of Dr. Will.
Yes, and I think that's what he's trying to do, and I like it. It's smart, and we'll see if it works for him.
Yep.
My predictions. All right, we got Battle of Block coming up, and then we have, of course. Well, no, first we got nominations. So with Frankie. Wow. You have Frankie being with the detonators. And if I'm not crazy and I'm remembering this correctly, so is Zach, who is with the detonators. So, you got two guys that can put up 4 people. And my prediction, you're going to put up Amber. And put up... Okay, first, I'm going to go Zach. I say he puts up Amber. And let's see. I'm going to go, I hate to say this because I wouldn't do it, but I'm thinking more game. Put up Donnie.
Okay.
Amber and Donnie. Why? Because if Zach can get those two to win in Battle of the Block against whoever, that's good. Because Amber's a competition beast, and Donnie is too. We found out He's not that weak, and he's not a floater. Now, Zach, that's going to be a tough one. So would you? I think he'd put up Hayden.
Okay.
And Nicole.
You think he's gonna put up the couple?
Put up the couple that. Oh no, I'm going to put Jocasta in there.
Okay.
Where Nicole was. Because if you can put those two together, that's a little bit better on that Battle of the Block.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the winner of the Battle of the Block, I'm going to go for, of course, Frankie's strong team. So, they get theirself off. POV, let's say Hayden wins POV.
Mm-hmm.
Takes himself off. Throw Caleb up now. Backdoor his ass, and he's out next week.
Okay. I could see something like that happen. I was thinking that Frankie is probably going to put up Victoria and Jocasta. I'm thinking. I think. I don't know if he's going to put them up right away, but I think Zach is going to do what Cody couldn't do, and I think Caleb is going to be his nominee, and I think Caleb's going home this week. That's my thoughts with Zach in there. I think Zach's going to win. I think Zach's going to win Battle of the Block. His team's going to win Battle of the Block. I think somebody's going to win Power Veto. I think Caleb's going home this week, like you said.
Yeah.
I think Zach is that kind of a player that he knows to make a power move, when to make a power move, not afraid to make a power move, and I think it's going to happen. So
I was going to say, yeah, that makes sense. Zach is crazy enough, and the man is nuts enough to pull that trigger where Cody couldn't.
Yep.
So, yes. All right. We made our predictions, folks. We want to hear your predictions.
Yeah, let us know. You can follow us on at HaveNotsPod or HaveNotsPod or at HaveNotsPod. That. And just let us know what do you think's going to happen this week. Who your favorite players are. What do you think's going on in the house? If you want to talk to us about anything else, do you have anything to plug before we exit here?
Hey, if you don't want to even answer those questions at HaveNotsPod, you can send them to me at Hot Wheels RWA. And Bobby, they could probably send them to you too. Yep. Where can they find you?
At Bobby FJ Town, and you can listen to us both on the Wrestling Mayhem show. We're both on there quite a bit, and you're on the Indie Mayhem show, promoting RWA. RWA show's coming up.
Yes,
there's one August 8th with Matt Hardy, correct?
August 9th.
August 9th, Saturday.
Mr. Matt Hardy, who was, I guess, on Impact tonight.
Nice.
But that's a whole different wrap-up show. You can catch them, too, if you'd like, on Sorgatron Media.
Yep, and you can listen to Boss Battle as well. I remember the name this time. Of my own podcast.
Bobby, shame on you for getting Boss Battle.
All right. That's going to do it for us this week. So we'll see you next week.